Welcome to Crossbody Drafts. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
It's the week of WrestleMania. The week that you're seeing this is the week of WrestleMania, unless you're watching after WrestleMania, in which case we're recording this, and it's for the week of WrestleMania. And hey, let's talk about the best WrestleMania performers of all time. We are going to go back and forth drafting our 5 favorite WrestleMania performers, their whole body of work, just like our podcast name, of their WrestleMania career. What we found out doing the research for this, there's a lot of people with very long, illustrious careers.
A lot of them.
A lot of good options here for WrestleMania performers. I have a list of 19 people.
Mine is, I'm not counting on that, but it's probably around like 13, 14.
Okay, so we have lots of options, and then it's going to be up to you in the comments to let us know who had the better draft of WrestleMania performers all time. Javier has the draft dime. I will call it in the air. I'm going to call it tails.
Tis heads.
I can never go 2 for 2. If you're wondering, we're recording this on the same day that we recorded our best WrestleMania main event. You can get the link for that. It'll be somewhere on the screen right now. Isn't that cool? Yeah. All right, so Javier has the first pick of WrestleMania performers. Before we started recording, I said that I think there's a top 2, so I feel like I'll be happy no matter what happens here. But it's up to you. Who do you have for your first pick?
There's a top 2, but there's a top 1 in my eyes because while this man may have a losing record at WrestleMania, he has significantly better matches than the other guy. So I'm taking Shawn Michaels with my first pick. I mean, just a who's who. I mean, obviously the Taker matches speak for themselves, but there's also the Jericho match. There's the Triple Threat from 2004. The Austin match is real good. There's just, you go back a little even further. The Iron Man match with Brett. All this other stuff.
That Iron Man match drags like a son of a bitch. But the match with
Tatanka.
Diesel, the match with Diesel's good.
Diesel's good. Tatanka's
good. Kurt.
There were tag matches that I couldn't guess on that one episode, that one little mint short that we did. Go watch that.
Go watch that too. Yeah.
But I had no idea. I can't remember them. Sure, they were good though.
So let's just get it out of the way. Shawn Michaels is part of the top 2 with The Undertaker. The Undertaker has the Undertaker streak. The match quality, this needs to be studied in a lab. Because Undertaker's WrestleMania starts out not hot. There are some bad Undertaker matches to start his WrestleMania streak. But
not good, Jim.
Then it goes unreal. The Michaels matches, the CM Punk match, love or hate the decision for Lesnar to break the streak. That match in that moment was worth something. Hell, a Boneyard match, AJ Styles. That's a cool match.
Batista, Edge,
Triple H, Randy. There's a lot of good matches in there. Like, it's Undertaker is so synonymous with WrestleMania. If I hear the gong when we're in Philadelphia, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I saw rumors of him being potentially brought in for something. I didn't like it because I don't know
where
what it would have been.
Yeah,
like
if I could, know what? Can he chokeslam Grayson Waller?
Maybe I like that's if they do a Waller effect or something like that. Like,
I could see them doing a Waller, like just to figure out, like, as a little aside, him and Theory come out. Maybe they get chokeslammed by Kane and Undertaker. That'd be cool.
It looks like they're saving Bray Wyatt for the Hall of Fame. But if they were to bring him, like, put him in, I could see Taker having, like, being his speaker, maybe, or if they decide to bring in 2 people to speak for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I know the Wyatt thing does seem like they're holding off for another year to put Bray in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame class is interesting. We also do an episode about the Hall of Fame class. You should listen to our throwback episodes that are available right now, or catch our Paul Heyman episode that. You don't know this, but in real time, we're recording it right after this. Yeah. So we've got Undertaker and Shawn Michaels as the top 2 WrestleMania performers of all time. I think that's fair. Where do you go with 3?
This is where it gets difficult for me. I'm not going to lie to you.
This is also, there's so many right answers that it thinks all personal preference.
This is really difficult for me. I'm not going to lie to you. The problem is, I think that everyone left. Yes, there's obviously the super high highs. There's also some pretty low lows on there.
Agreed. Yeah.
Some of them with each other, which is another weird issue here. But I'm going to take, if we're taking full cumulative body of work throughout their entire career at WrestleMania, start to finish, I got to go with Edge.
Fuck, I thought I was about to sneak in and take Edge. No,
Gotta do it.
it's so good. Edge
The
is the third best
TLCs, the
WrestleMania.
main events, the matches, even the main event a couple years ago with Roman and Bryan was a good match.
Wins Money in the Bank.
The shampoo match.
Has a great match against Undertaker. Has a great shampoo match against Booker T. The triple threat with John Cena and Big Show is good. The fact that he won his last match against Alberto Del Rio, and then it wasn't his last match because he came back and had a Hell in a Cell against Finn Balor,
which should have been better. Stupid ref.
It was still good, but stupid ref. I did not think you were going to go with Edge. I'm so pissed because Edge was my clear-cut 3 for me. Oh, this hurts.
Yeah, see, you said it was a top 2. I thought it was a top 1, and then Edge and Taker were like together.
I think Taker's got his thing.
I understand your legacy, but I think there's more bad than good for the Undertaker, and because of that,
I think the good
that brings it down for me.
Strongly outweighs the bad. All right. I'm going with Stone Cold for my next pick. All right. Stone Cold Steve Austin. The trio of matches against The Rock, none of them are even his best match. And that's because we have WrestleMania 13 against Brett. That's great. He came back and had a match with Kevin Owens at 38 and took bumps that he shouldn't have taken. Just Stone Cold's great. You can forget about the Scott Hall match at 18. That's fine. You also don't need to talk about the Savio Vega singles match at 12? At 12?
But we will. And we have.
But he kicks off the Attitude Era, if you really want to say that. He kicks off the Attitude Era with winning the belt against Shawn Michaels at 14, has the best match at 13, one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time, then has a trio of matches against The Rock that stand the test of time. It's got to be Stone Cold.
Speaking of The Rock, my next pick is going to be Brock Lesnar.
Oh my God. I was like, that's high. I love The Rock. That would have been high for The Rock.
I just
I
had to do the pump fake. No, it's because it rhymes with Brock.
Okay, so hold on. We're I'm gonna critique your pick a little bit, then I want you to defend it. If you're saying, I think the bad for Taker outweighs the good, there have been some pretty bad Brock Lesnar matches recently. So
here's where I bring it back, right? Here's where I bring it back.
Okay.
2003. Hell of a match. Main event, Kurt Angle.
I mean, I love that match.
Think the Triple H match is okay. I think it's actually pretty good.
Okay. Sure.
What was 2013? I don't remember that one.
2013, his match 29, that would have been that was the Triple H match because then 30 was Taker. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he wasn't at 28. 30's Taker, that's obviously bad. 31 against Roman is a hell of a match. 32, Dean. That's a clunker against Ambrose, I'm not gonna lie. 33 was even at 33.
33 is maybe one of the best sub 5-minute matches of all time against Goldberg. But
making my case for me. 34 is one of the worst main events in the history of WrestleMania.
It also doesn't make up for the WrestleMania 20 match against Goldberg. That was
no, we're not talking about that.
Horse shit.
We're not going to talk about that one. 35.
Okay.
Was he at 35? That's actually a better question.
35 is not updated on here, so I don't know.
36 against Drew. I think it's an okay match. It's quick, but it's pretty okay. 37, I don't remember what he did. 38, he main evented. And then 39, the match with Omos was okay. It just was. I just think it's difficult to leave a guy who has main evented WrestleMania that many times.
35 was the match against Seth when they opened.
Oh, I love that match. I do. I love that match. And I just think that there comes a point where as a performer, we sort of have to weigh things like, it's one thing to have like a really, really good match. Like, I'm not going to pick them. And so I could just freely say this. Like Kofi Kingston has probably had some great, really, really good matches on the undercards of WrestleManias. And then obviously he's got the Kofi Mania performance, which is obviously a big deal. But he's probably got some good performances early on for WrestleManias that don't matter and all this other stuff. And that's fine, but that just doesn't outweigh what things like Brock Lesnar did, where he main events at WrestleMania. Like, how many has it been? Has it been like 5, 6?
He's been in the main event quite a bit.
Like, he's always, it seems every year he's in one of the world title matches. And when it's not a world title match, those tend to be a little bit of a clunker. I'm not going to lie to you. But he's just so good. Some of the goods to me outweigh the bads. So I'm going to put that out there.
I actually really like your pick. I just wanted to razz you a little bit.
Just got to put it out there.
You're gonna hate my next pick.
Go ahead.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, there is no WrestleMania without Hulk Hogan. And now, let me get this out of the way. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, fuck that man.
However, this man main evented like 9 straight WrestleManias. Like, what are we doing? Yeah. He's the whole first chunk of WrestleMania. You could have saved
him for the end. I was never going to pick him.
On my list, I have a ranking, and honestly, we're going chalk. Like, we've been going. I
don't have a ranking.
I have them in order. I had Brock a little lower, but I respect it because it's like this is like a big mishmash in the middle. This is like the middle of the NFL draft this year, where it's like it could be anybody. Hogan. So some of the matches are bad. The Under the Giant match is famously bad, but the moment is magical. The Ultimate Warrior match is fine. The Sergeant Slaughter match is bad. The Sid match is oof. Why did he win against Yokozuna? The Rock match is the best match by a mile.
Yeah, and it's not even a good work rate match, really. It's more about the atmosphere.
Hulk Hogan is all about the atmosphere. I actually think that the King Kong Bundy match at 2 is not terrible. There's
we covered that.
Take. We did cover that match on the podcast. And the 5 match against Randy Savage is I think good when the Mega Powers explode. Yeah. Again, Hulk Hogan's terrible. However, there is no WrestleMania without Hulk Hogan. I felt like I needed to take him here. Yeah. Yeah. This is like when an NFL team takes an offensive lineman in the first round. They're like, look, we know it's not sexy, but it needs to get done. All right.
Whoever takes Joe Alt this year,
yeah,
congratulations.
Hulk Hogan is the Joe Alt of this draft. All right, who do you got next?
I can't take Brock without and make that argument for Brock without then taking Roman Reigns. You know, wow. I've got to take Roman Reigns because at this point the guy is going on his 8th WrestleMania main event. 8. There will be a 9th, probably next year, but he's going on to go against Cody in his 8th WrestleMania main event. It's a hell of a list when you really think about it. Like, you know, the first couple weren't great because those Shield triple threats were really just dog water, considering they were carrying that entire Monday Night Raw show on their backs for the better part of 18 months or whatever it was. Yeah. 31 against Brock is a great match. 32 against Triple H is overbooked, but it's okay. 33 against Taker is a bad match. 34 against Brock is a bad match. 35 against Drew McIntyre was a good moment. It's an okay match. It was a good moment because it's his return from cancer. 36, He wasn't there. 37, the triple threat against Edge and Daniel Bryan is a good, really, really good match. It's not a great match, but it's a really, really good match.
Yeah.
38 against Brock was dog water. But 39 against Cody was a really, really, really good match. It could have been a great match had the finish just been different.
Yeah.
But I think it's a hell of a record. It's the fact that he's already at 7 WrestleMania main events, about to be 8, and he's not even 40 yet, is insane. It's going to be 9 next year, probably. Let's be realistic with ourselves. He's going to main event against Rock next year, whether the title be on the line or not. I pray that it's not.
I pray that it's not,
it's going to be a 9. I don't want to put him there at this level because there are a lot of stinkers in all those main events and you know, stuff like that. But the resume, if you're picking Hogan, the resume speaks for itself. The guy's got 8 WrestleMania main events, most of them for the title. He is without a doubt the defining superstar of this generation, and he's just got to be picked right now.
I disagree in the having to be picked. I think Hulk Hogan was a cult of personality unseen before in the wrestling world in terms of making WrestleMania a thing. I think Roman Reigns was booked into the main event in spite of the response to him. I think he has made up for
Not
it.
lately.
I think you're right. I think lately this run is doing a lot of heavy lifting. I had Roman a lot lower on the board, but I think you know what? I do respect the pick. I think I understand the logic, and I respect the pick. Now, I didn't know that I was going to pick this next guy next, but I feel like as the old head, I will continue to be the old head guy. You ready for this pick? Oh yeah, Randy Savage.
It's a
I
good one.
So let's start with WrestleMania 3. Even though his first match is against George Steele at WrestleMania 2, which is fine. It's a weird match. It's fine. It's a lot of George Steele loving Miss Elizabeth, and that's weird. WrestleMania 3, Randy Savage gave us the first good WrestleMania match. Like the first
Yeah,
great WrestleMania match.
the
By
best WrestleMania match until Bret Austin.
That's true, for another decade. Then he would win the tournament at WrestleMania 4 and love or hate the WrestleMania 4 tournament. And you should hate it because it's pretty bad. But Savage is the defining through line of that whole tournament. We get the 5 matches, the Mega Powers exploding at number 5. At 7, we get the retirement match and the reunion with Miss Elizabeth. One of the best WrestleMania moments ever.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that that's worth it. And then he's still wrestling the next year, even though he lost retirement match, because what is retirement in wrestling? And he has a fucking world title match against Ric Flair. I love it. I think Randy Savage was... I feel so bad for Savage sometimes. I know that all the smarks love him. I know that we all are like, yeah, like Savage was the better guy than Hogan. We all agree. That's great. So this is me kind of giving him his flowers because I love Savage.
As you should.
It's because he's great. Who do you got for your last pick?
All right, well, since it's the last pick, I can start rattling off names.
You absolutely can. I want to see how they match up with people on my list.
There's Chris Jericho.
There is.
Who has to be named, who's had many, many great WrestleMania moments and matches. Seth Rollins, you can't mention Roman Reigns without then mentioning Seth Rollins. He's had a ton of good matches, and honestly, I really considered him. Bret Hart, we can't fail to mention Bret Hart. My issue with Bret Hart is that for as good as the Austin match is, it all depends on opinion with the Shawn match. I'm sure there was a decent Hart Foundation match in there somewhere. There's been good stuff. Obviously the Owen match. There's been good Bret Hart matches. There's been so many bad ones.
There's been some clinkers. There's been some clinkers.
It's also not as extensive as you would think as far as the singles matches go. There's Finn Balor.
Finn has a weirdly good. He wasn't on my list, but just have a weirdly good resume at WrestleMania.
Good resume, that guy. I think the worst match that he's had at WrestleMania is that Bobby Lashley one, which I think is an okay to good match.
Yeah.
The Rock, obviously, who we still haven't picked and we mentioned earlier. None of those are my pick, however. I'm going to go with Batista.
Interesting. Okay.
Batista's WrestleMania resume, the tag team match, the mixed or the handicap tag, the Evolution against Rock and Sock Connection from 2000 or from WrestleMania 20. The moment against Triple H at 21 is incredible. I do not remember what his match at 2006 was. Did he have one or was he injured?
That's WrestleMania 24?
22, that would have been. I don't remember if he had one there, but he had the hell of a match with the Undertaker that should have main evented but didn't. I don't know if that was 22 or 23. And then, he has the match against John Cena finally. I think that's a really good match. He goes away for a few years. He comes back. He has that triple threat at WrestleMania 30 that obviously everyone remembers. And then he goes away for another few years, comes back, and he has his retirement match against Triple H, which is chaotic and is a mess. But I really like that match.
Yeah.
And as far as, pedigree and all this other stuff, does it hold? Does it have more of a legacy than The Rock and all the main events he's had? No. Does it have more of a legacy than Bret Hart and the main events and matches that he's had? No. But I think if we're talking total body of work from beginning to end, what's the worst match Batista had during that run? It's the Rock and Sock Connection versus Evolution.
Yeah.
And that is a good, fun
good match.
tag match.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be anything other than a fun tag match.
He has multiple world title matches in there. It's nothing, in my opinion, but good matches.
Yeah.
And because of that, and it's a extensive enough body of work, in my opinion, that because of that, it's worthy of being drafted here. And it may be the last pick, but Batista's on here.
All right. A couple guys you didn't mention that I will also mention. Kurt has a hell of a record. Don't talk about him getting
the anchor at the end, though.
Yeah, getting retired by Baron Corbin is sad. Did you mention John Cena?
No, and there's a reason for it.
Why is that? Because it got really weird in the middle.
Good.
Yeah,
because it's just not good. That's why.
His U.S. Championship win is awesome. His first title win is awesome, and then the Firefly Funhouse is awesome, and the first match against Rock is awesome, and then everything else is like okay.
The Shawn match,
is awesome.
Is
good.
Everything else is at best okay.
Randy Orton has a great list. He also has the longest match with the guy you picked, Edge. Rey Mysterio, has this been consistent at WrestleMania? Consistent performer. He retired JBL at WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm going with the woman who I think has the best WrestleMania legacy thus far.
Wait, woman? Are we not done?
No, this is the last pick.
Oh, I got the first pick.
You got the first pick.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I still got one more, and I am picking Charlotte Flair, who has, I think, the best run of matches at WrestleMania for a female competitor. We have the triple threat at WrestleMania 32, which is a good match. It's not bad.
Talk to him.
Yeah, it's pretty good. She is part of the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania 33 with Nia and Bayley and Sasha. She has the match against Asuka at 34 that she should have lost. She should not have won that match. It's a good match. She should not have won that match. That's a booking decision. WrestleMania 35, I wish the crowd wasn't so tired. I wish we'd already been a 2-night main event. But the WrestleMania 35 main event is good. Then we get WrestleMania 36 against Rhea Ripley. Again, probably didn't need to win the NXT Women's title, but that's fine. We then get on back-to-back, we get Ronda Rousey at 38, and then the pièce de résistance, the match against Rhea last year at 39. Oh, it's good. Also, Rhea Ripley very quickly putting together a very good WrestleMania resume.
Yes.
Too
early, but yes.
The other women considered Trish Stratus, of course, and Becky. Becky Lynch has had a very good run at
Sasha Banks.
Well, yeah, but I think there's more time for Becky and Charlotte to keep adding to theirs, whereas Sasha is now going to have the best Revolution resume in history, bud. That AEW life.
Double or Nothing is probably their WrestleMania.
I just picked a random show. Winter is coming, bud. All right. So our lists. I have Undertaker, Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and Charlotte Flair. You have Shawn Michaels, Edge, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Batista.
I like my list.
I like my list too. My list looks like some people's Mount Rushmore and then also Charlotte. Like, people are like, well, Undertaker because of the longevity, Stone Cold because of the impact, Hulk Hogan, and then, we love Randy. And then it's like, yeah, Charlotte's here too.
Hey, women's Mount Rushmore, man.
100%.
It's her.
Without question.
It's Aja Kong.
It's her, it's Aja Kong, it's Trish, and it's Manami Toyota. Let's fight.
I will fight you. Julia's on there.
Of course, you say Julia. You in the comments will get to decide who has the better collection of WrestleMania performers, and give us your 5 people we didn't talk about. Is there somebody we missed entirely that has a really good WrestleMania resume? Somebody like a Finn Balor? Fandango.
Oh, first off, I mentioned Finn Balor and I talked about it.
That's why I said somebody like Finn Balor. Somebody who, again, was like underrated. You know what I mean? Go to the comments. Tell us who won. Make sure you hit subscribe. Share the video with your friends. Go follow us at Crossbody Work on Twitter, on Instagram. Check out the podcast. We're going to have WrestleMania pods. It'll be recorded as soon as we get back from Lincoln Financial Field every day of WrestleMania and uploaded immediately to YouTube and to wherever you get your podcasts. So check us out there. Very exciting. It's WrestleMania season. We will talk to you soon.
Let's go.